Alrighty, guys, welcome to the pregame show.
Good old Fish Talk.
Fish Talk Live. Welcome back. That was a long break.
It was.
Too long. We hope that you all had a great 4th of July weekend and a great start to scallop season.
Oh, yeah. Full swing.
It's been a good one, too.
It has, too. Nice and steady.
It's been good. So this is just the pregame show. This is where you are going to let us know if you are logged on and just tell us how your week has been. Have you been staying away from this little bit of rain, the random...
It comes in waves.
Can't make up its mind weather.
Heard the fishing's been pretty good this week, though.
Been very good. Now, actually, before we get started, before we go into the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week, little county political update. So I'm sure a lot of you guys saw, the TDC, the Tourist Development Council, proposed a $26,000 or $26,700 marketing campaign for some updated scallop photos. A lot of people weren't really for it. I think right now we need to focus on the tourists that we have here already.
Absolutely.
Cater
to what we got.
We're really packing in those scallop grounds, and if we want more scallopers here, I really think we need to get more scallops themselves here.
Agreed.
So
work on getting the numbers up before the people up.
Yep. A bunch of us sent in some ideas for a reseeding project. The budget request got denied 4-0 by the Board of County Commissioners.
Okay.
And then the reseeding project got, it's going to go through a workshop program. Everyone was pretty open to it. So,
Good. I like to hear that.
Yep, that's what happens when you guys make your voices heard. So congratulations. All right, so again, this is a pregame show. We're going to be getting started with the actual show here soon. Now, usually we ask a trivia question for the
winnings and the drawings.
For the winnings and the drawings at the end of the show. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight. So we're going to be talking about that right at the start of the show, just to give you guys a heads up. So make sure that you're paying attention. It's not going to be quite trivia. It's going to be kind of fun, though. We're excited.
Stay tuned for it.
That's it. All right, so Billy, what do you think we go ahead and get started with the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week so we can see what was caught this week?
Absolutely. Make me jealous, would you?
All right, let's see what we got over here. That's Captain Teddy's trip?
Very nice.
Nice redfish.
It's always nice to see the young kids getting out there, getting involved with fishing.
Absolutely.
Very nice redfish.
Yeah. Captain Teddy submitted 39 photos.
Hey, Captain Teddy's been on it.
So we have 39 photos tonight. So we're gonna cruise through these.
Very nice fish. Very nice, Tom.
Right,
playing on the freshwater side.
The pickle ditches or
ditch pickles.
Ditch pickles. Is that tilapia?
Yes, that's the people that just stay.
Interesting.
Where do they catch tilapia?
Very nice catch, though, Miss Amy.
I'm not sure.
Definitely didn't come out of the St. Martin's Reef.
Okay. So that's
nice trout.
Miss Alyssa from Extreme Decalz.
Very, very nice.
She is the actual brains behind that. That was her birthday weekend.
You gotta like. That is a really big redfish.
Huge
Look at the
red.
bend in it as he has to hold it. It's good to see.
So that's John Hensley, Billy.
Very
so
nice.
John and Terry
Hensley's.
were just here. They're the ones that won the airboat ride.
Oh, beautiful.
And then they're gonna.
Very cool, and that's their granddaughter.
Yep.
Love to see that.
We had a great airboat tour. They're awesome dudes.
Very nice.
There's one of the G babies.
Yeah,
Ken Claimer
the
G
Claimer
babies.
clans.
Nice redfish.
Nice calm day out there fishing for them. Beautiful. Very nice, Mr. Eric.
Nice redfish.
I like when everybody gets those photos and they just make sure it's just blank gulf behind them.
Yeah.
Can't say I blame you.
Garrett, another nice red.
Beautiful, out of the kayak. Out there on Jacob's charter. Very nice little redfish. Come on.
There's Garrett with another nice redfish. Is that a
Very nice,
Ocam
Mr.
hat?
Morgan.
No, no.
What was that?
I thought it was an Ocam hat.
Oh. There's a nice mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, scallops, a little bit of fish. Good job, Captain Jacob, getting them out there and getting them on them.
Good scallops, too. They're big this
Absolutely.
year.
Nice uniform size. Got those nice measuring devices, and 95% of them aren't going through it, which is awesome to see. Jacob did good this week.
Yeah, he did.
He's been on it with the whole fishing and scalloping scene. All of our guides have. Very nice.
Melissa
Back on the board
Extreme
again.
Decalz. I think that was opening day. That was Jacob and John, maybe?
Could have been, it was a group trip.
Was it Jacob and John's?
Yeah, very nice. They did good opening day out there.
Jacob.
I bet you that was Jacob's trip.
You think it might have been Jacob's? It could have been Jacob's.
Now,
trip.
there's no way Jacob sent these photos in, right?
No, I took them off.
Oh, okay. This is James.
Very nice, Mr. Hanson. Beautiful redfish. Very, very nice. Always out there slaying them. All right, out there on Mr. McCarthy's boat, getting in those scallops. He's had a very good opening week. Of course, all of our guides have. Big old mess of scallops. It's always enjoy getting those big orange ones. It's like an Easter egg hunt down there. You never know what color they're going to be painted.
The only thing I don't like about the orange ones is when people ask me why are they orange.
Right.
There's
Very
the,
nice doormat.
Team IC Flounder. Their team name is IC Red. So
Really?
that's it.
That sounds good both
There's
ways.
a red.
Those scallop grounds been busy.
Captain McCarthy. There's
Very
Captain
nice.
Mario's client there. The
That was today.
That was today's?
happy client upset
Beautiful.
redfish.
It's another one of mine.
Yeah.
Very
with
nice.
the bimini in there. Mm-hmm. Mario actually said, "I can't believe I haven't put a bimini on sooner."
First time ever. A shade makes a huge difference
Oh,
out
look at
there.
there,
One of
Mario,
mine.
another one.
Mario found that school out there today. There's been a good one moving out
There's
there.
another one of mine.
What's been the hot bait for these redfish, Mario?
Scrimp.
Scrimps.
Live shrimp. Or at
There's
least
another
fresh.
one of mine. Wow, there's a bunch of mine in there.
Mario's been busy out there also. The guys have been killing it. Getting people out there and enjoying
There's
their
a-
days.
Today.
Yep.
I want to see
How can
the
you
big
tell?
one.
Was it the rain?
I want to see the big one from today. Yeah.
That Mario,
No,
that's
no,
from
that
today
one's
as well?
not
No, it's not.
Matt with 8 rods in the back.
That doesn't
Catching
look like
sailfish.
Matt. That's not Matt.
I think Matt was in that group.
Oh, okay.
They went out there kayaking together. It was still pretty darn cool to be able to catch
Oh,
sailfish
that's so awesome.
on kayak. That's wild.
Not in the scallop grounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick with
Very
the
nice
snook.
snook.
All right, a couple more photos. There's a bucket of scallops.
Yeah, solid 6 gallons. Oh, sad
There's the
sight.
catch of the week.
Sad, sad sight.
But you know what? Those guys had that boat up and going, cleaned out, everything.
Within a couple hours, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
Captain Teddy. There it is.
there's the mullet himself. Man behind the scene.
There
Big
we
old
go.
redfish. Very nice.
All right, so that was the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week. Let's get started with the actual show here. We will be right back. Oh, sorry, Sean.
Beyond the woods, down the twists and the turns, through the marsh, lies the knowledge needed to fish the nature coast.
Fish Talk Live.
Welcome to
Fish Talk Live, presented by
Phillips Auto Group.
All right.
The best of the best. All right, guys, we've got a huge show tonight. First of all, welcome back.
Welcome back.
2-week break. We're pumped to be here. We cannot wait for tonight's show. We've got Captain Jace Tyler, who's going to be on the show tonight, talking with Captain Mario over there on the Ayinde Matthews State Farm casting couch.
Beautiful.
We're going to find out a little bit about Jace, what he does, what he's targeting, and where he's fishing from, but we're not going to do any spoilers yet. But we've also got one of the most reputable brands
Yes.
in the boating world.
One of the most fantastic tools.
Fantastic customer services.
Actually, well, I guess it would be multiple tools.
Tools, boat parts.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of everything now.
They do.
We've got Power Pole. So we've got Brandon that's going to be calling in.
Yes.
And he is going to be talking about the new products, this trolling motor that you guys have all been hearing about, the charge system. Now, during the pregame show, I told you all that there was a different way we're going to be doing the giveaway for tonight.
Yep, not so much a trivia this go around.
Not so much a trivia. So everyone knows Power Pole. Everyone knows what Power Pole is about.
Oh, yes.
So what we want to challenge you all is we want you guys to ask the most reasonable, complicated questions that you can think about with Power Pole. And it's not the first 6 people. Aubrey is going to be judging the best 6 questions that has to do with asking Brandon about a Power Pole product.
Yep, what kind of technical questions you got for him?
We want some good questions. So go ahead and put them in the comments. Think of the best questions that you can think of. We want to see if we can stump Brandon with some questions.
Let's see how much he knows about his own product here.
Let's see, because I mean, literally, I feel like a lot of people know everything about Power Pole because of how well they brand themselves and.
They put everything out there right off rip.
So let's see what you guys got. You've got the charge system. You've got the Power Pole Move, the trolling motor.
Yep. Power poles themselves.
The Power Poles themselves, the Stickum anchors, the micros, those drift tools that you put on the Power Poles, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah,
so
they got some cool stuff.
So the six people that ask the best questions per Aubrey is going to get added to the Extreme Decalz Reel of Fortune. So that is tonight's subject as well. It is P.P.D, Power Pole Down.
Power Pole Down.
So we're excited to have Brandon. He's going to be calling in here just in a few minutes. We've actually got a little video that we're going to be playing as well about the Power Pole Move.
That's exciting. Very
exciting. And they're going to be at ICAST hot and heavy starting today, but through tomorrow and the next day. Ty, cheers to you, sir.
Cheers, brother.
Have you had Modelo?
I don't have one at the moment, but I have had them, and they are delicious.
Pretty good. And fun trivia is Modelo is the #1 selling beer in America right now. What's doing it?
Hey, I'm going to take him up on that.
All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and get into this Power Pole Move video, and then when we come back, Captain Mario, and we'll be talking. Captain Mario is going to be talking to Brandon on the Tackle Table Talk, and then you and I have got a lot of questions for Brandon as well. Check it out.
Hey, Gary, what you doing?
Oh, just going through the book, looking at some dash panels.
As nice as that sounds, what if we went and did something a little more custom? Do you know anybody that might be able to make a switch panel like this?
Let's go talk to Brian.
I think Brian would be a good idea for that.
Cool, let's go.
It'd be sweet.
Oh, Brian. Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
I got a cardboard cutout. Can you make it into something for me?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. What?
This is our dash panel complete. Just wanted to throw a huge shout out to Brian up there at Extreme Decalz. Nailed it. This is exactly what I had envisioned when I drew literally a cardboard cutout for this to become a true dash piece and showpiece at the same time. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm super stoked to see this thing on the water.
There's a moment when you're faced with a challenge, and just solving the problem isn't good enough. We accepted that challenge and pushed well beyond all expectations. Even if that means breaking the rules and shredding apart all conventional ways of thinking, all in the name of creating something truly remarkable. We started by developing next-generation brushless tech, which produces the most commanding propulsion ever with supreme efficiency. Fabricated with aerospace-grade titanium for the ultimate in durability, it's engineered with such precision that it has moved beyond stealth. All guided by state-of-the-art advanced GPS navigation modes. We removed all worries with built-in compound fail-safes for unstoppable reliability. And it's painstakingly crafted to last all day, every day. All backed by our continued promise and commitment to be there whenever you need us, no questions asked. With this much control at its command, we didn't stop with just one. We created two incredible trolling motors. Introducing the new Power Pole Move brushless trolling motor.
Okay. Hey Maura, do you know what the Power Pole Move trolling motor and Homosassa women have in common?
No, but I think you're going to tell me.
They're both brushless.
Oh, God. Check, please.
Wow. Guys.
That was awful.
Welcome to the Nature Coast Financial Advisors Tackle Table Talk. We got Captain Mario Costello and myself up here. We're going to be talking to a close friend of yours.
Oh, yeah. Brandon Franklin from PowerPole. He's the man. He runs the show down there. He's a good guy. I've been dealing with him for the past 10 years. Nothing but helpful. He's got the best company, like customer service out of anybody that I could possibly know. I could text him at 9, 10 o'clock at night and, hey man, can you send me, I need something from, I need a spike or something. He said, oh yeah, we'll send it the next day. We'll have it next day to you. I'm like, man,
cool.
That's great, yeah.
Well, Brandon made a mistake about giving me his cell phone number.
Yeah.
Later, so now that I know that, we can text him late.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, are you out there, my friend?
Yeah, man. Can you hear me?
Hello, Brandon.
Can you hear me?
There
Yes,
he is.
There he is. Just got you in. How you doing, man? I don't know if you can hear us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Awesome.
There you go. There you go.
Driving down the road.
Yeah, you're headed to ICAST, I hear.
I'm heading to ICAST.
All right. Well, it's good talking to you again. I haven't talked to you in a couple months. I haven't had any issues or problems, so that's good. But all right, this is Brandon Franklin. He works for PowerPole. Tell our viewers a little bit about what you do for PowerPole.
Well, I'll just sum it up really easy. I just make sure everybody really loves our products. That's the best way I can put it to you.
Doing a good job.
You do a great job of that. Yeah, absolutely.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm sure we're gonna have a bunch of questions for you here. We've got our viewers are gonna be asking a few questions also. But I just want to let everybody know that PowerPole. I've been with PowerPole for about 10 years now, and their customer service. If you've ever had to deal with any kind of customer service, it can be a hassle. A lot of times they'll push you around, switch you for 3 or 4 different people, and not give you what you want. That doesn't happen with PowerPole. All of those folks at JL Marine are top notch. They're superb. You call up there, if you have a problem or if you have any questions, they're very, very knowledgeable about all of their products, especially the blades. But you can call anybody up there. Their customer service is top notch. These folks, I just can't say enough about it. You don't get that customer service out of any company on the planet other than these guys at PowerPole.
Absolutely. So, Brandon, we're going to have a little fun tonight, too. So we challenged our viewers to ask the most complicated technical questions about PowerPole. So what we're going to do is Aubrey's sorting through all the questions right now. So the 6 people that have the best questions for you is going to get added to a segment that we do at the end of the show. It's called the Reel of Fortune. And they could win. One of those 6 are going to win. We're going to be giving away one of these awesome PowerPole spikes, which I still have my original heavy-duty spike pole from like, what, Billy, 7 years ago?
Yeah, back when you had the skiff.
Yeah, and we've used it for everything. I probably shouldn't be telling Brandon this, but we've used it for construction purposes, for flagging properties, for checking septic systems. No.
Yeah.
But
well, the good news is it has an unconditional lifetime warranty.
There you go.
Rest in peace.
Perfect.
I carry one in my boat all the time. I have it. It works. It doubles as a push pole just in case the trolling motor goes bad. I used it today. Yesterday I had my trolling motor deployed and snapped the shaft on it, so I was using this as a push pole, and it works perfect.
Oh, they're awesome.
It works great.
They're easy to stow. Have you seen this trolling motor, Billy?
It's bad.
It's bad.
Oh, man.
It folded up like a taco.
Now, Brandon, speaking of trolling motors, so the PowerPole Move came out.
Yep.
We're starting to see it all over the place. You know, we're seeing videos everywhere. Some of our really close friends, Jeff Page, he cannot speak about it enough. I don't know if, I'm sure you've talked to Jeff on the phone before, and it can either be super long conversation or real short. Mm-hmm. Whenever it's about PowerPole Move, it's very long. Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, how's the product going so far? Are you guys, getting orders? Are you getting backlogged? What's the deal?
We are doing our best to keep up with production currently. So it obviously we've kind of slow rolled it out. We didn't want to take an approach to go stick it on the shelves in every store. We kind of gave dealers the heads up that they would get the opportunities first to put in orders and get their customer stuff fulfilled. Everything is built and designed in-house by us. So taking that slow roll is A-okay. And at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that we're delivering a product out of the box that exceeds expectations and is everything you thought it would be when you put it on your boat and go use it.
And you've done some extensive testing on this, on the PowerPole Move. Talk about what you've went through for all the testing and how long it's taken.
Well, I mean, I think from day one that we sat down and said we wanted to build a trolling motor, that was probably sometime 7 or 8 years ago. Wow. But to the point to where it was actually a working prototype, that probably went through a solid 3 to 4 years of use in the field before we even put it in a box and decided we wanted to sell it. The trolling motor market is pretty saturated. At the end of the day, there's a lot of options that are currently out there, but we really wanted to make sure what we built was better than everything else that was out there and gave you options and confidence at the end of the day to go use it and rely upon it. And that was our goal. We spared no expense in R&D. We spared no expense in parts. And if there was something that we could buy off the shelf that was $10, but there was a much more harder to get reliable part for $50, that's the one we went with. And I think at the end of the day, you put one on your boat and you go use it, you'll really feel that.
Good deal.
You get what you pay for sure. Yeah.
Now, Brandon, what I want to know is what man or woman thought of the brushless concept and how much of a raise did they get?
So, interesting PowerPole fact, we've been using brushless motors in our PowerPole pumps since 2011. So when it comes to brushless motors, those are all things that we have designed, engineered, and built in-house to control and work those motors for quite a bit of time. So it just kind of came naturally to put it into a trolling motor. It's a superior product over a brushed version. It's quieter. It's 30% more efficient. It's got a longer life. It's lighter. And you can really tune those motors to work exactly how you want them to work for whatever they're on. So in a trolling motor application, it really gave us the opportunity to deliver a very silent, powerful, torquey, efficient motor that is unlike anything else that's currently out for a saltwater motor.
That's awesome. Now your trolling motors now, I know a lot of these guys are running 24 volt and 36 volt. Some guys run even 12 volt, different shaft lengths or whatnot. What do you guys have available as of right now to sell to the general public?
So we have the same motor works on 24 or 36 volts. So regardless which option you get, if you hook it up 24 volts, it's just a lesser thrust rating. If you hook it up 36 volts, you'll get the max thrust out of the motor.
Wow.
So same product, any voltage. Yep. And we have two different models, a ZR model and a PV model. PV is typically what you see on a saltwater boat with a longer shaft. Those are available in a 45 all the way up to a 72-inch shaft.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, I did not
Those
know
shafts
that they
are
were
also
variable.
titanium. So what you did to yours probably won't happen with ours.
Yeah, I don't think it would. Yeah, I was doing 30 and it accidentally deployed and it folded like a taco, like I was saying before. It was, it wasn't a good feeling.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't realize that.
No, that's cool. That's a neat deal. And it also production-wise, you don't have two different sets of parts that you have to deal with. It's all one.
That's right.
Motor. Yeah.
So
if you're
go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you're a guide or a tournament professional or even someone on vacation and you have a battery go bad or you need to pick up batteries, nothing you have to do to the product. You just hook it up whatever way you want, and it just changes your thrust rating.
That's cool.
Man, I like that.
That's genius.
Yeah, it is.
So I got a quick question on the brackets for them. Now, is the power pole move trolling motor quick disconnect bracket, is it compatible with like let's say you're going to be using one of the other brands, those quick disconnects that you can easily take the trolling motor off the front of the deck, or is there a different adapter? How does that work?
So every Move EV comes out of the box with a pre-installed quick release bracket on it, so it's included in the price. It's a really nice stainless steel version of kind of what you see on boats now, and it's indestructible. You're not going to break it. The hole pattern on it matches the larger of the Minn Kota version that's currently out on the market for their motors.
Gotcha.
So if you had a Minn Kota quick release, you took that off your boat, the Powerful one will match that hole pattern, and you're good to go.
So that means it will also match the Rodan, because the Rodan is also the same size. It just has a larger pin to hold it in. The Rodans do. So.
That's nice to be able to switch from boat to boat.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Let's switch.
Also nice, had some value there in not having to take your motor apart when you take it out of the box. Pre-installed. The only thing you got to do is put the puck on the boat, set the motor on, put your pin in, and you're good to go. And
it's made out of stainless steel instead of polyurethane. Yeah.
I like that a lot. So let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about the power pole charge system. Billy, when did we install that on our boat? It was about a year ago, right?
It was maybe just shy of it, but right about a year ago.
It was something that we couldn't decide if we wanted, needed, had to have, and it ended up being all of the above. That is the best thing that, seriously, you know how nice it is to come back to the dock after guiding and not have to go around, find extension cords, and the thing acts just like an alternator.
Yeah, by the time you make it back in, you check your charger, it's like 88%. It's like, oh, good, we're good to go for the day tomorrow.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Don't have to plug in or nothing.
Don't have to do it again.
It's amazing. The app for it is great. One thing I did learn, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, but I want to say this was a part of the new update or something, but with the power pole charge, you want to turn, if you're not going to be using your boat for a few days, do you want to turn that off in the app?
So if it's more than a few days, like if you kept your boat in dry storage or you were going to leave town for a month and you did not have the ability to plug charge in, there is a feature in the app to disable it and turn it off. Charge is pretty smart, but it's not smart enough to know that you're not fishing if it's not plugged in and your boat's not moving. So if either of those two things are not happening, charge will attempt to manage any power use that's going on within the boat.
Gotcha. Hey, Billy, you want to go see if Aubrey's ready with those questions so we'll start laying them on them?
I have one of the first power pole charge systems still. Actually, Brandon sent me one before they went out to the general public. I still have it.
I think you got a pretty early one.
Yeah, it was really early on. I have it, but it's not in my possession. I've went through a few boats since then, and I just happened to have left it at my ex-wife's house, and I haven't went over to get all of my stuff back. So
don't blame me.
But that's one of the first things I need to grab. I need to grab that. It's ready to go to put on the boat, the current boat that I have now. But I still have that original one from, gosh, I'm going to say it was close to 5 years ago. We ended up getting that. And I've had zero issues with it, not a single issue.
They're awesome.
So, all right, we got some questions
All
here.
Got a
right.
stack of them here.
All right, Brandon, you ready for this?
Shoot.
All right. Question number 1. This is from Jerry Rose. How many amps does the new motor use on the highest speed?
Are we talking? I'm guessing we're talking about the Powerpole Move.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yep.
So the move will self-regulate. So we tell anyone with a 36-volt system to at least have a minimum of a 50 amp breaker. But it's anything less than 50 amps, you probably will not ever see over 50 amps.
Okay.
Nice.
That's a good question,
Now
Jerry.
that's
Great question.
wide open. That's and even at that setting, you're going to see a definite efficiency improvement over any brushed motor at that same wide open setting.
Okay, that's a great question.
Great question, yeah.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right, so we got Jessica H here. This is actually a good question, too. This is a really common when someone purchases a power pole from us. We get this question asked all the time. I believe how she's meaning to ask this is what's power pole's preference of mounting a power pole directly to a transom versus using the mount off the motor? Do you all have a preference, or is it per application?
That's a great question. We get it all the time. I would definitely lean towards application, and then the other variable there is 1 versus 2. There's a big symmetry thing there if you're duals, that if you mount brackets to a jack plate, it's always going to be symmetrical every time. You can definitely remove that human error of messing up and putting your holes in the wrong place on the train. You got to live with looking at that the rest of the time you have a power pole. But I always tend to recommend adapter plates. Just it's the ease of mounting them to your boat. Definitely cuts down on installation time. It looks really good. It's out of the way of the back deck. And, we have an adapter plate catalog that's, I don't even know how many SKUs are in it now, but it gives you a really custom fit finish installation based on whatever boat you have.
Yeah, I love the online system you guys have.
And it's adjustable. So that's the other thing. If it looks like it's mounted a little bit too low or too high, you can adjust it. It has about a 3 or 4 inch play where you can go up or down with it. And I put mine on about a month ago or so. It was right here at the shop. I put mine on, stuck them on right about in the middle, put it in the water, and I realized it needs to be about 2 inches higher. So we pulled it right back out, loosened a couple of bolts, slid it all the way up to the top setting, and cranked it down, and it was perfect. You can't do that if you drill holes in your transom.
Yeah.
I hate drilling holes in new boats.
I was going to say, yeah.
Unless it's someone else's.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially somebody else's boat.
All right, so this one's from Tim Rutledge. He wants to know, is the Move trolling motor compatible with HDS Live to control it from the actual GPS?
So it is currently not compatible to be controlled through the GPS, but we have a built-in transducer option for Lowrance. And some of those other things are most definitely in the works.
Sweet.
Awesome. Like I stated before, everything that we do is built and designed in-house. So a lot of those features as they come down the road is easy as a software update.
So when you say built-in transducer, is that something like on the foot of the trolling motor? That the trolling
That's
motor
right.
can? Oh, wow. Really cool.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so when you drop your trolling motor in, it gives you your depth. I mean, that's pretty slick.
That's for people that run more than one machine, almost like the bass guys. I see the bass guys have transducers on the bottom of their trolling motors a lot when they run their front unit, so they can see exactly.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah, when the fish
now,
off the bow.
there,
Now, would that be compatible? Like in the future, is there any plans for making that compatible with like that live scope? What's it called? The
Garmin Live Scope.
Or the Lowrance product.
Yeah.
So what most people do now is they clamp it to the shaft, and you just have to have like a service loop in that wire so that the trolling motor can still stow and deploy and raise the shaft up and down.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So this next question is from Tyler Jacob, who represents PowerPole very well. They win a lot of tournaments, and they love your stuff. So he wants to know about the new trolling motor self-deploy. How does the self-deploy system work on that?
So the trolling motor is technically not a self-deploy through a button or a powered device, but we've got a pretty innovative deployment system that is like an assisted lever. So if you walk up to remove the boat on the bow of your boat, and you step on the pedal, it brings the shaft up. If you're standing right and you have your left hand out, you step on it with your right foot, it'll kind of spring the shaft right up to your hand, you catch it, and just drop it in the water.
Oh, pretty slick.
Wow.
You don't have to bend over, hit the pedal, lift the shaft up. Same thing with stowing it. You can kind of pull it all the way up. There's a little cradle that grabs the motor, pull it up at a 45-degree angle till the motor clicks in the cradle, and then you can just drop the shaft down to the stowed position.
That'll definitely save
Takes a
your
little
back.
bit to get used to because it does it differently than what you're used to, but once you get it down, it's awesome.
Yeah, a lot better than pulling strings and levers and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, our next question here is from David Ellis. It says, have they considered any available alarm to remind you of a deployed anchor?
So we've gone back and forth on that. Since day one, we have been the only shallow water anchor out of the box that's come with built-in drive-off protection. So if the power pulls down and you were to drive off with it, there's a safety relief valve that's built into every single one of them that with enough pressure on the anchor, the fluid will just bypass back to the pump. Usually you know right away, like, oh, shoot, my power pulls down. I can feel it when I'm driving my boat. I stop and lift the button and put it up. We're all fishermen. We talk to a lot of fishermen. We deal with a lot of you guys all the time. And it was one of the number one things that we talked to tournament anglers. They're like, man, I don't want that thing beeping at me when I've got my motor running at takeoff in the morning or I'm sitting at the dock and they're deployed. It was one of those things that it sounds good on paper, but as long as the product's built to withstand those events and their rarity, that's the path we took.
I agree.
It makes a difference in its own.
All right, this last question from Davis Dotson, I think, is a great question. When, not will, but when will they make a move for kayaks on bow stern?
Yeah, there you go.
I will tell you there are 0 stones unturned in our R&D lab. They're at power pole and tank.
Beautiful. Easy enough.
So they will eventually, right?
Yep, just keep your eyes and ears open.
And nothing's stopping you from putting a full-size one on your kayak.
Yeah, you get that thing on plane.
Those are some pretty darn good questions.
They're good questions. Yeah, there was a second one. There's a second one here. This was also Jessica's question, which we're only going to credit her for one, but it's actually a pretty good question. What is the difference between the CM1 and the CM2? So what was the biggest upgrade, in your opinion, on that one, Brandon?
So CM1 to CM2, we went from a lower megahertz frequency on the wireless controllers to a much higher reliable frequency that not a lot of products you would find commonly on a boat operate on. So that gave us a much cleaner, reliable signal for the remotes to function better. And it increased the range for the remotes within the boat. It allowed us to have compatibility into future products and future integrations, such as some other questions that were offered earlier. It's an advancement in the operation, so to say, on CM1 versus CM2.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. Now your remote controls, since you were just talking about the remotes, they also have controls for your power pole blades on the power pole move remote, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's that
for all power poles. So as long as it's a CM2 product, the power pole move remote will operate it. That's Sportsman's, Pros, Blades, even a Micro.
That'll keep your because we have remotes hanging all over us when we're fishing, and they seem to get tangled up in quite a bit of stuff. So only having a single remote would be that's fantastic. That's a great idea too.
It's a nice lightweight remote too. It's got a lithium rechargeable battery in it. You don't have to take it apart to change the batteries. You just put it in its charging cradle. In about 20 minutes, you get enough charge to last like 3 days.
Wow. Is it like could it charge off of a USB, or does it have to have like house current?
So we recommend that it's fused, hooked to a battery or your battery shut off switch. if you leave it in the cradle and the cradle's not powered, usually in the time that you turn your battery switch on and run to your fishing spot, it's got a full charge. And I think on a full charge, we rate them for 4 months of daily use or something like that.
That's a great idea. The only thing that I would really want to see on that is on the remote is an indicator on what direction it's facing. And I don't think it has that on there.
Yeah.
No.
So I got three things for you. So number one, if somebody were to order a power pole move through the marina here, what kind of lead time are they looking at?
It really depends on model. I actually saw an email about this earlier today, but I'm going to say bet would probably end of August into September for most models.
Just a few months. Yeah.
Just in time for the Florida Redfish series.
Yeah.
Number two, super impressed with how you answer these questions. Honestly, like that explains your job as you
For being on the road, not at the desk.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, there's no help with Google or anything, man. So kudos to you.
We might need to go through a couple of things on the blade also, just real quick for our people out there. So
I got one last thing. When, and this is going to be my question, we can go ahead and add this to the board if we want. When is Power Pole going to make a boat?
An entire boat.
How do you know we don't already have one?
There you go. It's our names on boats all the time.
All right, Power Pole blade.
Yeah, Power Pole blades. I currently have a set of 10-footers on mine. I've been running the 10-foot blades for eons, actually, since I started with Power Pole. They're great, but tell us a little bit about how the motors and everything work, and go through some of your warranty stuff. Those are the two things that most of the people ask me is either the warranties or the pumps itself. We'll go through the warranty stuff first. That's a little bit easier question.
Well, one of the big things that we take a lot of pride on is building something that we feel pretty much anybody with basic hand tools and a simple set of instructions can repair. So from stage one of design, that is always like one of the top priorities is how easy is this to get in and out of your boat? If you do have a failure, how easy is it to repair or replace something on it? Those are major criteria for us when we're in early stages of design. On top of that, if you were to ever have an issue, regardless of how old your product is, you can always send it to us for repair. We usually strive for a same-day repair, specifically on pumps. If a pump gets shipped to us from a dealer or a customer, we try our best to repair it same day and get it sent right back out. So the only downtime you really have is whatever the shipping is back and forth from you and us. But that pump, like I said, we've been in anchoring boats with hydraulic pumps and motors for almost over 20 years now, probably 25 years. And I feel that pump that we're at now with that CM2 is it's watertight, it's robust. It can really handle any boat you mount those 10-foot blades on. And at the end of the day, it's a really simple, easy to use, reliable product that in the rare event you would have a problem, we're there to help you fix it.
Yeah, because
however way you can fix it, we'll do whatever we can to make that as easy as possible for you.
Definitely. I've seen the pumps go from something similar to a trim tab pump all the way to what it is right now. And the way it is right now is just about perfect. Yeah, there's not much improvement you can do on that Power Pole.
You could probably take that pump and mount it to the inside of your transom on your Carolina skiff out in the elements, and it'll probably be okay in a charter business for several years.
Yeah, definitely.
We know one guy that has laying on the bottom of his boat.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've got a quick question for you. I see a lot of these guys that are rebuilding some of their older boats, 20, 30, 40, 50-year-old boats, and they get a hold of one of your first or second generation power poles. But it might not be working really well from 25 years of use. Is there any way that they can send you or bring you their system, and do you guys have parts to rebuild them back to new?
We have done our best to keep as many parts as we can in stock and flowing. Sometimes those vendors, have disappeared or are no longer in business, but we've sourced other options. Really what we try to do now is exactly what you said. Where we're at now, it's almost easier to just offer an upgrade kit that is nearly the same, if not less, than what it would cost for you to buy parts for those older anchors.
Gotcha.
So almost everything beyond those old Bennett systems can be upgraded to CM2 in some sort of fashion, whether it's the new rubber hoses, which are awesome, all the way up to the pump upgrades and controller upgrades. So we offer a kit that does it all. We stand behind that. We build a product to last a lifetime, and we don't expect people to buy new products all the time. Of course, we like that, so it keeps us in business, but we also support everybody that wants to continue to use their old stuff, and we will always have a solution for them as well.
That's awesome. That's why you guys are the best in the business, number one.
Brandon, thank you so much, man. We thoroughly appreciate you coming on here and answering these good questions, too.
Oh, yeah. Real good questions.
We'll see you at ICAST tomorrow, man.
Anytime. I really appreciate the invite. And as always, if anyone has any questions, feel free to email us, call us. We'd love to talk to you, even if it's just talk about fishing.
Sounds like a plan, man. Thank you and safe travels.
Appreciate you.
Alrighty, everybody. So that was Brandon Franklin from Power Pole. Can't talk enough about him, seriously. But, Mario, we got to move on. Jace Tyler's waiting on us. I'm excited to hear his story. So let's go to a commercial break, and then let's talk about some fishing.
Will do.
Cool.
Now servicing the Central Florida area at Phillips Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Ocala, located on South Highway 441.
Welcome to the Ayinde Matthews State Farm Casting Couch. I'm Captain Mario Castello, and tonight we're going to be speaking with Captain Jace Tyler. Captain Jace, are you there? Can you pull him through? There he is.
Hey man, I'm here. You guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, buddy. How you doing?
Good, brother. How are you, Mario?
Oh man, I'm living the dream, man. Every day's a picnic.
Yes, sir. I hear you.
All right, talk to me about what you do, where you do it at, and how you do it.
I'm pretty much an inshore guide, man. I run, mostly North Pinellas from pretty much the north tip of the Narrows up to like Fred Howard. Inshore, nearshore. I run all year. It's a good time, man. I really enjoy it. It's a dream job, I guess, for most. Some people, everybody wants to do that captain thing until it's time to wake up at 4 a.m., 3:30 sometimes in the morning because it's the only time bait's running, water's hot. So it's just, it's a good time, man. It's always an adventure. It really is.
Got to do that bait grind early in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, I actually fished that area when I was younger. I didn't guide down there. I've only been guiding for about 13 years, and I'm almost 50 now. So, but I got into it late. But I used to fish that area a lot in my travels, and it's a very good area.
Yeah, I'm right with you, man. I've only been guiding for about 6 years now since I moved back home. I was overseas for the better part of about 10 years. But I grew up actually Pasco County. Fishing Philmans and Arapica and that whole area. We pushed south, and hit Anclote and like Rooker and those islands. And, when I moved back down here, it all just fell into place. And once I kind of learned this fishery, I started hammering it, and I kind of just fell into guiding. I had a couple buddies that were guides, and I went and did the test. And next thing you know, I was up and running.
Yeah, I have a similar story too. So it seems like everybody's got about the same story. But
yes, sir.
So it sounds like you're more of a live bait guy. You're catching your bait early in the morning and probably chumming heavy. Of course, that's what they do down there. So talk to me about that.
A lot of the times here it's why there's guys that go out early in the morning and they chum real heavy and get it. I'm more of the 4 a.m. person. I take a really low stress approach to my bait because when it's still dark out, man, they wrap up around the bridges and the lights or the pier. You can go out there and sometimes, you could throw once or twice and, I'll be blacked out on both wells. Makes it super easy versus the daytime, where you have to go find a flat and run it. I like to be in my first fishing spot when that sun's peaking. Like right now I'm picking up at 6:15. Like I'm trying to be in my first spot, like lines in the water, you know, while some guys are still out there running around trying to find bait. So it's just kind of a race, you know, especially with the water being so hot right now. I feel like, you know, those first couple hours are super critical to get some really good fish on the boat. And then before we got this rain past couple days, you're kind of chasing your tail once that water really heats up, especially on that outgoing tide, and it gets lower and lower. You know, it just gets harder and harder to get those good fish to bite. So it's a lot of waiting and, you know, throwing bigger baits with cut tails, you know, up on the trees and stuff like that. And sometimes it's a waiting game to find those bigger fish. You know, you're not really in a bite. It's a lot of times it's, you know, where you're hitting all these spots, you might catch one or two good fish at a spot, and then, you know, it shuts down and it's like move to the next spot, and it'll be the same thing. You're doing a lot more bouncing around right now with just the water temps. You know, it was 92 degrees the other day out at the pier. You know, we're talking Pier 60 at 4:30 in the morning. Right. I was like, oh man, you know, that's gonna be a day right here.
Yeah. Now, most of our viewers, I'm not going to say most of them, but probably at least a good half of our viewers have never fished down there in that area. It fishes a lot differently than it does up here. I don't know if you've ever fished in this area, but you guys are running. Well, we're running like mangrove shorelines, a lot of mangrove shorelines. And creeks and different things like that. But talk to me about your style of fishing down there.
You know, right now, the snooks are obviously they're out on the beaches and in the passes. So, you know, if you can get out on the beach, if it's not too windy, a lot of the beaches, you know, they have these trenches really close to the shoreline. So especially even when that tide's lower, these fish are just going to move up and down in these trenches. I'm not so much sight fishing them or trying to chase them down. You know, you can almost sit in a spot and, you know, I'll throw some chummers out and get them in those trenches. You'll see where the bait's kind of flipping, and you put that white bait out there, and eventually you'll find a really good snook bite. There's big trout running the beaches right now. And then for the inside, really, it's been same thing, you know, big mangrove shorelines, deep mangroves. And you can catch them, you know, like right at that hill tide, basically the last of that incoming or the first of that outgoing, putting baits right on the trees. You can do really, really good. But the problem I've been having, and a lot of other captains too, is on some of these deeper mangrove shorelines, like for instance, Caladisi, you know, you push way up in there, so we're having a lot of our bait die, you know, and that's, you know, sometimes I don't even overload my wells right now. You know, I'm splitting the bait between two really big wells, and it's still, you know, you get in there for 30 minutes or an hour and your bait will start flipping and kind of dying. It's just that water being too hot. So it's kind of like get in there, get some fish, and get out. You know what I mean? And go try to fish some of the spoil islands. You know, we have that whole run of spoil islands pretty much from, you know, like Memorial Causeway all the way north up to, you know, almost before Fred Howard. You know, the spoil islands can hold really, really good fish, but most of the better fish I'm finding there is on higher tides. So when that tide drops out, I'm trying to fish the beaches or some of those deeper potholes that are on the outside of those islands is where I'm finding really good fish at.
Yeah, everything's tide specific up here. Just about anywhere you go in the state of Florida, it's all going to be driven by the tide, definitely. But
absolutely,
talk to me. What kind of boat are you running? The guys up here, a lot of the guys up here, the guides specifically, are running these big flat bottom skiffs. But you guys might be a little bit different down there. It's not very.
Up there, you get a lot of bay boats here. You know, I'm running a 2022 Skeeter, the SX240 full tower. With 300, it's good. Before that, I ran a 22-foot Skeeter, just an open top. You know what I mean? It's especially I like the open top for the winters. You can get under the little bridges and get way back up in the creeks. You know what I mean? So now I'm kind of stuck on the outside with the tower. But you know, having the tower in the summertime, the water's so clear here, it kind of makes sense, especially if you're running for triple tail or doing like something near shore, or you know, even running these spoil islands. Man, you sit in that tower. I mean, it's amazing how much more you could see, how much further up, you know, before you blow those fish out, versus like, you know, I used to start really far back, you know, and I'd kind of fish my way up almost a cast length at a time, you know, trying to find these fish. And now you can kind of see where everything's boiling and everything's moving. So you see a lot more bay boats out here, but, you know, guys run everything, man. You still see your flat bottom skiffs, of course, you know, the past couple of years, you know, just polling skiffs, technical polling skiffs has just taken off.
Yeah.
So you see those things just absolutely everywhere now, and it's awesome to see. You know, those guys have been out there. I see them out there all day. You know, at the Hurricane Pass trying to tarpon fish with fly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got mad respect for those dudes that sit out there for 10 hours taking shots at these finicky tarpons. So
yeah.
it's
The bay boat is definitely the way to go down there, because sometimes you got to cross the bay, and it's not pretty when you're in a small skiff or a flat bottom. It hurts you.
No, you'll get beat up for sure. Get beat up. And, you know, we do a lot of, sometimes, especially in the winter, you know, when, you know, that bight will shut down on the inside, or if you don't have the right tide for it, you can still push near shore. You know what I mean? You're catching short groupers, you're catching some good hogs or like lane snapper and stuff like that. But it gives you that ability to get out there, even if there's like that foot and a half of chop. You know what I mean? I can still push out 5-6 miles and, you know, go out to some of this hard bottom and still be able to pull on some fish, which is sometimes the day saver. You know, like right now, the day savers, it's been trout. You know, you can find trout here. You find any good deep grass flat, man, with moving water on the inside of the passes, and you can find trout.
Yeah.
You know, like I just use a split shot rig for them. I really don't use that many corks for the trout anymore. Just the split shot sitting 5-6 inches up, you know, little number 4 split shot with the smallest white baits I have. You toss them out and you'll start getting plowed by some super nice trout. You know, we have a really good trout bite down here.
How's the red tide affecting you guys down there? I know it's isolated in certain areas, it's worse in certain areas, and it's almost non-existent in others. What about the areas that you fish?
You know, the one that we had a couple years back, like 2 years back, that was probably the worst one I've ever seen in our area. You know, most of the time when we get the red tide, by the time it gets here, it's kind of pushed, you know, almost a couple miles offshore. You know, so you'll see big fish kills and stuff up on the beach. And, you know, some guys, you'll have problems with, like, you know, keeping bait alive and stuff like that. But that big one we had, man, it's almost like the fishery hasn't recovered since then. That's why I stay strictly catch and release. Because, you know, they open redfish down here directly after that red tide happened. So it's been open for recreational harvest since then. So, you know, the numbers have been hurting. And, you know, with COVID too, you know, you got about double the people amount out in the water.
Right.
You know, so especially in a populated area like this, you know, it's captains and recreational people. There's people out there every day. You know, we're a Saturday looks like, you know, a Tuesday now. So it's wild. You know, I'm like, man, what are these people doing out here at 6:30? You know, like out here.
Everybody owns a boat now. Yeah, that was the rave. Everyone wants to buy a new boat and get into the game.
It's the thing. I think a lot of it's got to do with there's a lot of fishing pressure down here too. You know, like, you know, it's not a secret that the spoil islands are going to hold fish, or the only, you know, really long mangrove lines we have are going to hold fish. So these fish just get hammered on almost a daily basis.
Right.
You know, I try not to run trips on weekends anymore because it's chaos. You know, I'll try to run Monday through Friday, and Sunday mornings for some reason have been really good lately, but Saturdays I'm good.
It's next to impossible. I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, it's great talking to you, buddy. How can everyone get a hold of you? Do you have any social media or is it just by phone?
Yeah, the Instagram's just J_Tylers. It's a personal / fishing thing, but the website's just jtfishingcharters.com.
That's awesome.
Real simple.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it was good talking to you, and hopefully we'll be seeing you. Yeah, every now and again, back and forth. Just give us a holler.
Yes, sir. We'll talk soon.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, man, later.
All right, thank you. That was Captain J. What is his name? Jace Tyler. Yeah, that was Captain Jace Tyler. If you want to get a hold of him, like I said, you go onto his website or his Instagram. You can get a hold of him there. We are going to go to a commercial break for Bahio.
Vagabond dreaming takes me through the night, sipping whiskey by the river, living out of sight. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane, 100 miles an hour toward the light.
Sabalitos.
Sun does come 100 miles an hour in the fast lane, 100 miles an hour in the fast lane, 100 miles an hour till I'm done.
What's happening, guys? Over here with the Not the project shop, it's the Hydro Deck.
The Extreme Decalz.
Extreme Decalz, Hydro Decks. Real Fortune. All right, so we have our 6 people that answered all their, or actually came up with their questions.
Great questions too.
Yes, they were actually, and nobody stumped them.
No.
Like he is on point with every product they are working with, which I love.
That was crazy.
That's what makes them so great.
You know what's the one question we forgot to ask?
What was that?
Warranty on the power pole move. Is it a lifetime?
Yeah.
Lifetime warranty on the
unconditional.
On the power pole move or on this thing?
Definitely that thing. I don't know.
Let's
before we go.
Let's confirm that because some of the power poles aren't lifetime. The spikes are lifetime. We'll confirm that.
Yeah, either way.
We'll confirm that later. But
so what we're gonna do? Gonna go for this heavy spin, see what fish creature may land on a name, and see who wins the power pole spike.
Dun 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 dun.
What's your good?
Snook.
Oh, that was a good spin, Billy.
I'll do it as Sheepshead.
Sheepshead.
Why is this spinning so good?
I did it.
Oh, shrimp.
Nailed it. All right, who is the shrimp? We have Davis Dotson.
Davis Dotson, you just won a power pole spike.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, perfect for a mud boat.
Absolutely. Well,
Sweet.
any boat as long as you play in the shop.
What was Davis's question? Wasn't it for the?
Have to go back and look at the questions.
When will they make a kayak trolling motor?
Well, we have a kayak anchor.
And push pull. Guys, thank you for watching Fish Talk Live. Once again, we appreciate everything. Brandon, Jace, thank you for calling in. We thoroughly appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Some good information there. I'm going to have to go fish with Jace one of these days. He sounds like an awesome guy and a great fisherman and a great guide.
Absolutely.
So, and then we'll be at ICAST next couple days. So we always have some fun there. So tune in next week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Tuesdays.
Thank you to our sponsors. Bye.
I don't know where it came from.
Tune in this Friday.
Tune in this Friday.
Because what? Damn.
I quit this place.